Mad Stork Media.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We are back, Mad Stork Media, and a couple of things we're going to just jump on here and kind of figure out what's going on with everything. And look at everybody from the Boston area that'll check this out. How do you like the Milwaukee Brewer jacket? Milwaukee Brewers took it to the Boston Red Sox tonight, 8-6. Now you guys got to watch it tomorrow, the Red Sox fans, because the Brewers have the Miz going on the mound tomorrow for the Brewers. So the Brewers go out to Fenway Park and beat the Red Sox. What a good night, right? And in other sports news, of course, Michigan beat UConn in the national championship college game, and that wasn't a shock. Michigan was really playing well the last few weeks of the year. So just remember the team that beat Michigan during the year. The team that beat Michigan during the year, if you look over my right shoulder, the Wisconsin Badgers. That's who it was that beat Michigan. So that's what's happening in the sports world, at least in my world of sports. But a big win for the Brewers, going to Fenway Park and beating the Red Sox. And then tomorrow, it'll be Crochet against the Miz, Mizorowski for the Brewers, which you'll see a lot of balls from Mizorowski that are hitting over 100 miles an hour. So it'll be a good game to see the two pitchers going at it tomorrow night's game with the Brewers and Red Sox. All right, what else is going on? Got to thank right off the bat. Let me see if I can pull this up and get this on and see what happens here. Let me see once if I can figure this out. So I'd gotten this nice message on X, and it was from Hot and Bravoed. And it said that she likes her new favorite YouTuber. And she said, F. Rakita Lal. But she said that the Mad Stork got mad giggles. So I thank Hot and Bravoed. Now, me being new to all this, I had to go figure out who Rakita Lal was. So did just a quick view of what was going on with him. Little bit of reading about him. I guess I don't know what happened, but I guess he had a pretty good following, then got in some trouble. And I'm sure there's people that can probably fill me in more on that. But I'm not a lawyer, so I can't be compared to Rakita Lal. And I definitely don't do what he was doing on the side either. So, but anyway, I thank Hot and Bravoed on X for putting me out there. That was very nice. And I hope that everybody that checks this out, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like, hit the share. We really appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to keep this light. I don't have any opinion about Rakita Lal. I know that he's really big at one time. Maybe lost some steam a little bit with some personal issues. I don't have no opinion, I guess, on like drug use, especially if he was the guy that. I mean, so he might have liked the smell of cocaine, the way it sounds. That's what I hear, and that's fine. I mean, if that's, if he's doing that just for himself or whatever, I mean, if that's the way he wants to take care of himself, nothing you can do about that. So, but like I said, I'm not here to be him or anything like that. But again, I appreciate everybody that'll check this out later. And what should we do? Maybe do this. Let's see what Brian's doing. I haven't talked, we did a little thing about him last week. I think he did something earlier tonight, the way it sounded. So let's see what he's got going on. If I can figure all this out, all this new stuff. Pretty good, a pretty good intro there.
Good evening, everybody.
There he goes.
It's Monday evening, April 6, 2026, back into Let's Talk Live here on the LTL Media channel. I have to say this. If your skin hasn't crawled in all of the cases that we've covered here in the state of
This is
Massachusetts,
what I like about
fear.
This is what I like about Brian. He gets, so dramatic. Your skin hasn't drawn, what is up with that? And I mean, yeah, it all crawls. I mean, when you look at what's going on over there on the East Coast in Massachusetts, I mean, you got the Sandra Birchmore. Now they said that there was DNA, and Michael Morrissey, Norfolk County, still has not put charges against that Farwell. I mean, there's a lot of things that make your skin crawl, Brian. I mean, everything, it seems like, that's coming up out there is just making everybody's skin crawl. Then you got Justin, I'm a Lion. I mean, that whole thing, I was reading a little bit about that. I'm not ready to get into it, but I was reading a little bit about his reply for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. I got questions. I mean, one is he wants Kelsey to have a hair test, the follicle test for drugs and everything. I guess I missed the part where she was, I mean, I don't understand why she was doing the scram in the first place. And now I don't understand why he thinks that she should have the drug testing when he's the one on video doing the drugs. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. But like I said, that's another night, I guess, to get into. But let's see what Mr. Dramatic here has to say.
Has not been struck through your entire body when you read and learn more about the cases that we cover here in the state of Massachusetts. Tonight, those things will happen. Okay. I guarantee you, because we're going to read through the Commonwealth state of the case and the Enrique Delgado Garcia case. I want to thank my source for dropping those documents to me last night.
He's always like, I got to thank my source. My source. Brian, just tell us who it is. He's protecting his source. Now, I know a lot of people have been checking in with me and saying, well, what happened to Randy? How come you're not doing anything with Randy, with JFK Show Off? Randy's kind of taking a softer approach to everything. He's kind of just left the old Turtle Boy and Glare and everything alone, and he's doing his own little thing, and I don't know what's going on with Randy, actually. So I watched a little bit of him, and he said he's just done. And he's doing his own thing. And I mean, last night he did a show and he was talking about bicycles like he was 12 again. So I'm just not, I don't know if that's what I want to cover, but so we'll check out Randy every once in a while just to make sure he's doing what he said he's doing. But right now it seems like LTL. I kind of liked this whole, what he's trying to do, with this dramatic, like he is the new news media. When you want news, you go to Brian from LTL Media. LTL Media is news.
I got to reflect on it last night and go through it. And to the level of what the Commonwealth has alleged here in this document, I'm absolutely speechless. When we thought it was bad, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And, when I was up at court the other day on Thursday, I got to look at Jennifer Penton in her eyes. I get to look at Evan Rodriguez in his eyes. I got to look at David Martinez in his eyes. And I'm hoping to be able to do that the same to Casey Lamont. But to sit there and we're going to play it again tonight at the end of that.
Is Brian, does he know by looking in somebody's eyes what's going on? Is this guy that good? Look at this guy's eyes right here. What do you see? What do people see in his eyes? It's hard to pay attention to his eyes when he's got that hairpiece. But what do you see in his eyes? I don't know. I don't see a lot of truth. I just don't see it at all. I see another Crawford where he likes to cry a lot about everybody else. And there's a lot of things that I don't understand. I was watching this earlier tonight, and he had very little people watching. Then all of a sudden he gets off, and all of a sudden he's got 1,500, 2,000 views. Somebody's got to explain that. All of a sudden there's a rush when he quits for people to view him. Okay.
And I want you to listen to the lawyers.
All right.
For these three individuals, when I get done reading this document tonight, your mouth is going to drop. And I released an article just about an hour ago. We're going to go through that. It will kind of explain what we're going to see and hear in this document. Nan Gallagher actually chimed in as well. I sent her the State of the Commonwealth last night. She read through it and has a statement, so I'm going to give that. She's also going to be here on the show on Wednesday to share her thoughts.
Couldn't be there tonight.
About the State of the Commonwealth.
She out driving one of her German cars.
Garcia's case. So let's get into this. We have a lot of reading to do tonight. Please bear with me.
Oh boy.
I do have a mild form of dyslexia, so hopefully we do get through this, and I know that we will. And I appreciate you all being here.
Not going to pick on
this is absolutely one of the most important cases.
But does he have a problem, or
right now?
Can't read?
In my opinion.
That's the
and look what's going on in Rhode Island. If you missed my live show last night, I urge everybody to go back.
Well, I missed it.
And look at Chiron Lopes' case. That's very similar to Delgado Garcia.
Okay.
90 days, and the Lopes family has no answers. There's video. No medical examiner's report. No medical examiner's report. 90 days. Remember, we were here. This is the same thing as Delgado Garcia. Killed at a training facility, Capitol Police training facility. Chiron Lopes. Enrique Delgado Garcia killed at the Massachusetts State Police Academy here in New Braintree, Massachusetts. And we have no answers. But we're finally at the stage of justice in this case. In this case, it just took well over 350 days to get there. 17 months. 9 months to get an official medical certificate of death, medical examiner's report. 9 months, 17 months. And David Meyer did an amazing job putting this document together.
You're there.
He's going to outline everything that happened. And you're going to see the horrifying details as to what happened. And what did I talk to you about on this show many, many times since I reported about this case? Yes, the boxing match is a litigating factor in this.
Okay.
Yes. But there's so much more to it. And what have I said? I haven't lied to any of you. What have I continued to say?
Why does he say that all the time when he goes, I haven't lied to any of you. I haven't lied. Why does he feel like everybody's saying that he's lying? Why does he, he needs to stop that. Be more confident, Brian. And if somebody calls you a liar like me, who cares? Just go on. Forget about it. Don't get rubbed the wrong way. Don't let it bother you. Just move on. All right, come on, Brian.
Leadership, failure to intervene, failure to know better. And when you start learning the credentials of these 4 state troopers, your mouth will drop. They knew better. And I hate.
Is Brian getting to the point where he's yelling at me again? Is that what it sounds like? Why does he ramp it up like that? Why does he start yelling at? He yells. Brian, just calm down. Calm down. Just tell us what you want to tell us and calm down. All right? You don't need to yell at us. We didn't do anything wrong. So why are you yelling at us? Come on now.
Hey, I hate using that phrase, do better, do better. Yes, do better in this situation. It could have been stopped multiple times. All right, let's get into this here.
All right, let's get into it.
Enrique Delgado Garcia filing beyond unauthorized sparring and leadership failure. After reviewing the Commonwealth statement of the case and the death of Enrique Delgado Garcia, my conclusion is straightforward.
Hold on,
Brian. Has been since I started reporting on this case. While the unauthorized sparring on September 11th and the continued sparring on September 12th are key factors, it's not the biggest part of the story, my friends.
Okay.
The bigger issue, in my view, is the collapse of supervision, leadership, intervention by the people who are responsible for the safety of the trainees under their control. That is what I've been saying from the start. And now we'll see this filing keeps pointing back to. The filing named Sergeant Jennifer Penton, Trooper Edwin Rodriguez, Trooper David Montanez, and Trooper Casey Lamont. Prosecutors say those four were not just distant figures on the sideline. According to the Commonwealth, they had direct management, direct control, and direct responsibility over the boxing-related training that preceded Enrique's death. The state theory is that the case was built not just on what happened, but on the failure that happened. Proper supervision, proper medical safety guards, proper judgment, and timely intervention. The timeline laid out the Commonwealth. The timeline that's been laid out by the Commonwealth is very important in this case. Prosecutors allege that on September 11th, 2024, Enrique suffered concussion-like symptoms after an unauthorized, unapproved, and poorly supervised boxing-related sparring. I want people to understand this is the day before.
Mary B., I'm telling you, he loves to yell. And I don't know why he yells like that. Just be calm. Just be calm, Brian. That's all you got to do is just calm down a little bit, all right? And you should slow down on your reading. You won't make as many mistakes. But you're on a roll, so let's keep going. It's hard to listen to him, but I'll listen for a little bit.
This is the day before. So there is a prequel to the 12th. Then on September 12th, during what is the filing that's called Boxing Day, he suffered multiple blunt force head injuries and massive brain bleeding during recruit-on-recruit boxing match. He died the next day. But even that sequence, the unauthorized sparring is only the part of the picture. The finally repeated emphasize act on omissions and academy staff for those 2 days, meaning not only reckless actions, but failures to act where there were a duty to do so. That is why I believe the strongest part of the Commonwealth filing is not simply the existence of unauthorized sparring.
You know, he wants to be taken serious. That's the thing. He wants to really be taken serious. But it's hard to take him serious because he's just, I mean, he'll start out yelling and, and then he's got to drop the Nan thing. We always got to hear about Nan. She's coming on Wednesday. Nobody caught that. When you listen back to this, Nan's going to be on Brian's show on Wednesday. So don't forget that, all right? Mark it down. That's big news. Nan's going to be on his show. But you're right, Mary B. It's hard to listen to because there's just something about him, the presentation, that I don't understand. The yelling and why he always thinks everybody's picking on him. It's like, well, why does that? I know somebody wrote me a note and said, are you ready to be picked on when people start picking on you? It's like, yeah, I mean, if they want to pick on me, pick on me. I don't care. I mean, I grew up in a wheelchair, all right? Went to school with kids that were very mean, all right? Kids are very honest, very mean. They'll tell you what they're thinking. So you really think anything that somebody's going to say on YouTube is going to bother me or X or anything like that? I mean, come on. I wouldn't have done this if I didn't have thick skin. So that's just the way that is. I could care less. But he is very sensitive. And you can see that because when he starts to do his crying too is kind of embarrassing when he does that crying thing.
It is the allegation that the academy leadership and defensive tactics staff failed to nearly every level all around it. The filing says that the staff failed to implement best practices. Sorry, I'm burping here. Sorry. Best practices falling to fail. I had some food right before I went on air.
Well, at least you're not farting like Mike Crawford.
By written safety protocols, failed to follow approved lesson plan, and failed to apply safety procedures, failure to properly account for medical information, failed properly supervise sparring, and failed to stop the boxing match, even after Enrique was taking repeated blows to the head, being knocked.
This is what I like about YouTube, because I watched, before I started this channel, I did the thing with my buddy Tracy Broussard on the Over the Line, which is sports channel. But I watched YouTube and just the presentations from people. And I tried to get, like when I was starting it, and still I get where I want to be perfect. But you don't have to be perfect in this. And Brian and Crawford, JFK, all of them proved to me that you don't have to be like that. And But I have to have the mic working. I got to have everything working, and I don't want to be sitting here burping or farting. I mean, what is the deal? I don't get it. So Brian, let's see if you can quit burping. All right, let's just get through some of this.
Down and ultimately knocked unconscious.
Settle down.
I talked
Go
about
down.
this
Talk
about a
about
week
this.
ago on my overview of this case.
Pointing
I
at us
said
now.
many times
Many times.
during the first round when Enrique was knocked down, this fight should have been stopped. We see this in professional boxing matches all the time. And that's when I sat here and called and said, where is the intervention here, people?
Where
Why
is it?
the referee not stepping in and calling this off like we've seen over and over again in boxing matches,
tell you one
professional
thing.
boxing matches that we've watched
Brian,
on TV? Mike Tyson.
just a real quick thing. I'm watching you here, and for some reason, I feel the need. I want to box you right in the nose. Right now, I have that feeling where I just want to say, Brian, here, and knock you right in your nose.
I'm sure you've watched a Tyson fight in your day.
Oh, boy.
And when Mike Tyson is getting the best of his opponent, what has happened? The referee steps in and they stop the fight. Not only did the referee have the duty to do this, but the others, the 4 instructors that are named in this document, had the right to come in and intervene, and they did not. It's a failure of leadership, and this is a failure of breakdown in operations.
What about the other boxer? What about the guy that was just kicking his ass? Why didn't he just quit? I mean, he must have known. What about him, Brian? Why are you blaming everybody else? Why not that guy take some responsibility? He had to know that he was kicking his ass.
So that's not just a training problem. This is a leadership supervision problem from top to bottom within poorly directed running these exercises. September 11th sparring matters because prosecutors say that it should have set off alarm bells before Boxing Day even ever began. According to the filing, trainees were allowed to engage in aggressive boxing-related sparring with repeated head strikes without adequate supervision and medical staff present.
Ooh,
and many ended up with bloody noses, black eyes, and headaches.
Don't touch your hair, Brian.
Prosecutors say Enrique showed concussion-like symptoms the day after.
Touch your hair.
What I described through my sources is that Enrique complained, saying, my head doesn't feel right.
Okay.
In other words, the warning signs were allegedly already there. That makes next day's decision look even more serious.
Seriously, why is he yelling?
Only underscores the point. According to the filing, the trainee Enrique ultimately boxed was the most experienced, skilled fighter in the group. The kind of imbalance you compared to a young Mike Tyson being put in with someone that clearly outmatched. And I tell everybody to look at this. Please Google it. Look at it on. Take a look at it on YouTube. Tyson versus Long, October 9th, 1985. Prosecutors say concerns were raised about the trainee's boxing ability, that another trainee objected to pairing, which asked to be switched. And that after fell apart and instructors asked for volunteers. Enrique was the only trainee who stepped forward, and prosecutors said that he was allowed to remain matched against the more experienced fighter in any way. What did I talk about? Evaluations. There should have been evaluations constantly.
Evaluations.
I talked about this. Equal balance and pairing, so situations like this do not happen.
Brian, slow down.
There should have been evaluations of physicality and mental evaluations through this entire training course. That was the failure. That is where the breakdown was. And that's what put him in this situation.
His sources here is that Todd McGee, right? The state trooper.
To me, that goes beyond bad luck or even.
That's where the sources are coming from. So that's why he knows so much about this boxing program, because McGee had something to do with it when he was as a state trooper. So he's confident to repeat some of this stuff, get on his little soapbox. We all know it was bad, Brian. We all know this. Okay? It's just one of those things again with the Massachusetts State Police. But we all know about it. But you don't have to yell at us when you're presenting this. Just tell us the facts and move on. Let's go here. Settle
demanding
down.
a training environment, speaks directly to the judgment oversight and who is making decisions and setting the prosecutors already described as dangerous. Then there's a part of the filing that stands out to me the most because it echoes a pattern I have focused on before: the handling of records
Okay. All
and
right.
after the fact conduct. The Commonwealth says the grand jury examined not only what happened before Enrique was knocked unconscious, but also the actions, conversations, and communications that took place afterwards. And here you go. If your skin doesn't crawl, your skin's going to
There we
start
go.
crawling now. Prosecutors
Your skin
specifically
has
allege
crawled.
that shortly after Enrique was taken by ambulance from the academy, Trooper Casey Lamont revised the lesson plan to add boxing fundamentals to the September 11th schedule to create another boxing related document, and created another boxing related document after September 12th incident that inaccurately described what happened. So they're in there on the 11th. It wasn't authorized to do so. And after Enrique de Garcia on the 12th has been knocked unconscious and is being driven to the hospital, Lamont takes it apart. I'm going to go in and change some lesson plans, and said this was a scheduled exercise on the 11th. So you are forging documents.
Forged.
That allegation matters, in my view. Once documents start being revised or narratives start being shaped after a critical incident, the paperwork becomes part of the story. This is one of the reasons the filing grabbed my attention so quickly. It raises the same kind of red flags, just like in the Karen Reed case. Not because the cases are identical, but because when the records itself become an issue during after the fact, it suggests that the public should be paying very close attention. The separate perjury allegation against Penton adds to concern as well.
So this is hard for me to listen to. It really is. I tried. I mean, I'm in, 20, 30 minutes almost, and he's just hard to listen to. Now, you take a look at this shot right here of his head. That's not a toupee? Come on. Come on. It is. It has to be. Look at how, I mean, it is. Come on, Brian. Just take that thing off. But how do you sit there and go over this thing and you got to yell at people when you're presenting it? Just read it. Give us if you have an opinion, that's fine. It's hard for me to listen to. It really is. At least with JFK, you could really make fun of him and everything. I mean, I laughed. I had watched an old JFK a couple of weeks ago where he was trying to say Scarpiccio, Attorney Scarpiccio. Wow, did he mess up that name? And he's from Lynn, Massachusetts. He should know that lawyer, the lawyer's name. I mean, I'm not from there, and I at least know how to say it, or I think I know how to say it. But I had to laugh about that. But you're right, Mary. The yelling is so unnecessary. Just present it and everything, and then move on from there. So, all right, there's some big news with the Sandra Birchmore, which I was, it's funny that it's not funny though, Sandra Birchmore, but it's funny about how everything is going on out in Massachusetts. And I looked, I was looking at all the news around everywhere, the whole United States, and I was looking at corruption and if there's any other big things going on. And it seems like the Massachusetts is the one getting all the news about the corruption. I mean, I'm sure there's other ones out there, but it's more Massachusetts. What's going on? Can somebody explain maybe later in this, if you watch this over, somebody that knows more about the Sandra Birchmore, why did Morrissey not charge Farwell? Is he protecting him just like he did with the Karen Reed stuff? I mean, what is the deal there? Why wasn't he charged? Or is he not charging him because the state or whoever put the charge against him now, the federal? I mean, I don't understand why Morrissey did not charge him. I guess I shouldn't even ask that question, should I? Because of what happened with Karen Reed. So Birchmore So now they say that the DNA was around Birchmore. So, I mean, I don't understand it. But you're right. I think that's a lot of it. Once it all starts getting uncovered, the domino effect. Now it all comes out. So I think we have a long way to go with the Birchmore case. I think there's a lot of twists and turns that are coming out of that. A lot of different people involved. How she was groomed and everything. Sad stories. Just sad stories. And then you get to this Kelsey. I looked over a little bit of the Kelsey Fitzsimmons stuff. And Justin I'm a Lion. What is his deal? I mean, I don't understand why. I mean, I understand, I guess, that he's trying to get out on some out in front of some things, but he wants her to only have 5 hours a week. And then I love the way he put in there, dad and baby are getting along great. Well, yeah, because the mom isn't around. I mean, what in the world is he thinking? I don't get it. Yeah. Police in the county are corrupt. But, I mean, it sounds like it's been like this for a long time. Mary, you've been out there. You live out there. It sounds like a lot of this stuff has been going on for a long time. In Boston, I mean, everywhere. I mean, I realize that the Boston area, the mob and all that kind of stuff, and there's favors like that, but I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of other things going on that you just don't hear about, and you're wondering, well, what the heck is this all about? So it's crazy stuff is what it is. And as I read more and more into it, it's like I find another story. Then you have the cop, the state cop that drunk drive and killed somebody. I mean, there's just so much coming out. But the Kelsey Fitzsimmons thing, I just don't understand why well, we're going to test her hair and, for drugs. Justin, I'm a Lion. You're the one that's going to end up getting the drug testing. You're going to end up not being a fireman if you haven't already got your pink slip, which you should have. So this thing, when does this go to court? I think it's next week. I mean, there's a lot of things that are, it's crazy. And whatever court is going to try to keep that baby away from its mother, I mean, then that court needs to be examined too. And I think everything that Justin is not smart enough to say some of the things that he's saying. There's just no way. This is his mom. She's well-versed in all this stuff. And so everybody knows this. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that be coming out. There's a lot of, you hear about, other people, they get their, Chicago's probably the most corrupt, Cook County. You can go there and find corruption like crazy through the years. But boy, this Massachusetts area, it seems like every county and judges and the judges don't even cover up themselves. It's crazy going on. And I realize that, the Karen Reed, I think, brought it all out, right into the forefront. So everybody to see it, the people that follow the Karen Reed. So, but there's just so much of it. It's just crazy stuff. And, like I said, I try to watch Brian here from LTL. I don't know if Crawford's been around. I haven't seen anything really with him. I know he's trying to get some political people on and all that kind of stuff. JFK, he's live tonight. And he was talking, like I said, he was talking bicycles, talking about when he was 12 years old. And, he said he had a good family, a good, his mom and everything was good, but he was just a troubled kid. Well, then it's JFK, the way you grew up, that was your fault. And you shouldn't be sitting there, trying to get people to feel sorry for you because you made those choices. So, but we'll get back into JFK. I'm just taking a break because he's just, he settled down a little bit. Of course, Turtle Boy's got a big court date coming up on Wednesday. everybody's going to be wanting to know what's going to happen with that. What else we got going on out there in Massachusetts that I'm missing? Turtle Boy, I guess he's not going to have a show until Wednesday night. He's not going to have a Tuesday night show because he's going to be staying overnight in the Boston area and then going to court on Wednesday and then going to have a show on Wednesday night. So that's an interesting thing. I heard he mentioned today, I think is in his bus stop, that purple guy, I guess he got his channel taken down or something happened there. I'm not understanding that either, how people can just turn your channel in. Did they ever do that to Rat House, Mary? Where they turn you in for something and then you get taken off? I mean, it's weird that YouTube would allow that to happen. Sounds like there's going to be some people going to the court date for Turtle Boy, so we'll be able to hear what's going on. So I don't understand. So people just go ahead and they just turn you into YouTube and say you said something wrong, and then YouTube takes you off, and then you got to fight YouTube to get back on. So what's the rules on that? I guess I'm not understanding the rules, because people could say some bad things on YouTube and they don't get taken off. But it seems like if somebody does something with this Karen Reed or Turtle Boy, all of a sudden they're just, they get their channels taken down. Don't get it. Wow. So you got to appeal. And then how long does it take you to get it back? I know it happened to the Glare just a couple of weeks ago. So it's all complaint based. So you got to go through everything. But YouTube should be able to make that decision pretty quick if you got the video that they can go over if they want to listen to it. So that's something to learn too, because I'm sure I'm going to get that where people probably turn me in for saying something. I mean, they're never going to hear me like swear outright. I mean, I might use the F word, but they're not going to I'm just not going to go off and where I start calling people names. So that's not going to happen. But I guess I'd like to know the guidelines of why people get their channels taken down by somebody that, basically will lie to YouTube and everything. I mean, I haven't got attacked yet by, what's her name that attacks, that is obsessed with Turtle Boy. What's her name? I can't even think of it. See, that's how important she is to me. The one that has the mafia, whatever. So I haven't been attacked by them yet. I do want to get into the forensic room and listen to those girls, because I saw something on X. I don't know if anybody here's heard about it, but now they're saying, like, somebody's put in there that Karen Reed went and washed her car before she went home that night after allegedly, she didn't hit him. She was acquitted. So stop it. But they're saying that she went and washed her car. So she was so drunk. Everybody's saying she was so drunk, but then she took the time to go wash her car. What? Where does this stuff come from? Do they believe what they're saying? That's what I want to know. Evidently they do, or they don't, and they're just saying it to get people riled up. I think that's half of what that, why can't I think of her name? The Masshole Mafia. But anyway, I think that's what her thing is. She says something stupid, so people say something back, and then she's got a thing rolling on X. But they are just obsessed with Turtle Boy. Everything is about Turtle Boy. Everything. It's just crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff. Masshole Mafia, Twisted Tragedies. Yeah, I got to get into Twisted Tragedies too. Boy, I found that butte last week, I think it was. I think Mary B, you on, I think Danny and everybody were talking about her, and I heard about her for the first time, and I went and checked out that butte. Boy, oh boy, wow! She's an expert on everything. I found out everything. She's an expert. I mean, she's an expert lawyer. Never went to law school. Did she graduate high school? But she's a better lawyer than Betterow and Turtle Boy's other lawyer, Bradle. She says it all the time. And I mean, her and her Amazon wish list. I mean, I got to start an Amazon wish list. I don't know what I need though. That's the only thing. I mean, I got a bed, I got a couch, so I really don't need anything. So yeah, Twisted Tragedies. I gotta get into that one and figure that out and everything. So again, I gotta say, on X tonight, Hot and Bravo'd put a big shout out to me. And she said that it was like screw Rakita Law. And like I said, I haven't sat down and really watched the Rakita Law yet. I will. I guess he got bigger with the Amber Heard and all that. And I'll watch him and see what it's all about. But like I said, I'm not anything like him. But I do think that I need to get some sunglasses because he wears sunglasses. JFK wears sunglasses. So if I'm going to follow suit, I guess I got to get sunglasses. I was looking up where Turtle Boy, not Turtle Boy, where JFK, Randall, where he gets the sunglasses from, where in that old cell phone box of a cell phone. And I mean, you can buy those glasses for like $50 if you want to get them prescription. They're, of course, more than that. But I guess I'm going to have to get some sunglasses. Is Rakita Law, does he put the sunglasses on because of some of that extra things that he's doing with his life that he doesn't want you to see his eyes? Is that what is covering that up? So, and like I said, I don't know the guy to pick on him, but I've watched a couple of things today, late this afternoon. There were some people picking on him. And I guess he had it really going on until he got, into the drug part. And like I said, I'm going to check him out probably a little bit tonight yet and see what he's about and everything. But again, Hot and Bravo put a big shout out to me on X. I appreciate that. I really do. And this channel is going to be a lot of, where we're going to laugh at people. We're just going to laugh at people and really show how ridiculous they are. I'm not going to call them the other R word. All right. But they're ridiculous. The forensic room. I know that the girl with the red hair, the woman with the red hair, I guess she's from Indiana, but are all the other ones from the Massachusetts area? And they actually believe that Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe, or they're just they got some kind of connection to Jen McCabe. So they're trying to, push that. I don't know. But I mean, there's they talk some dumb stuff. But again, it's all about Turtle Boy. I mean, Twisted Tragedies, Turtle Boy. I mean, their whole life is Turtle Boy. And I'm not going to talk a lot about Turtle Boy. I mean, I like what Turtle Boy does. I like that in your face. Turtle Boy has a lot of that Howard Stern feel when you watch him. Because he's in your face. He's going to say what he wants. And that's fine. But these people are just mad at him. And I don't get it. I guess at one time, a lot of these people were big backers of Turtle Boy. So they turn on him. It seems like everybody turns on him for some reason. His own girlfriend here, the last, whatever it was, couple of years. Now he's got to go to court for her with a restraining order. That's another thing. Massachusetts, you guys can just put restraining orders like crazy against people. I don't know. Maybe I need to live in Massachusetts, and Mary B, I should have been putting a restraining order against Stupid April for breaking my heart, saying she don't like country music. Don't listen to country music. I mean, come on. Everybody gets a restraining order. I guess I can do that too. The good thing I saw though with Turtle Boy was the thing that that Jason guy wrote up for him that they wanted him to sign and wanted him to agree to. You can't do that. What? I mean, I hope that's brought out in court on Wednesday. I mean, what are they thinking? See, this is the stuff that I wonder, do they believe that or what? You know, like the car wash. I mean, do you really think Karen Reed calling John O'Keefe up and just hammering him on his voicemail, all of a sudden she goes, all right, oh, I better stop and get a car wash. No. I mean, come on. That's not how that works. And any woman would be mad as hell if he didn't come out of the house. And Jen McCabe's already put it in her head that, he's messing around with this other girl around the block. I mean, and here she is, taking care of the kids and running them around and all this kind of stuff. I mean, she's had something to drink, so that just magnifies it more. I mean, I don't get it. But like I said, the forensic room, I got to start watching them. And I heard that if you snipe them or replay something, that they're the ones that go after you and say that you can't do that. Now, I thought everybody's pretty much game for getting their channels sniped and that they can watch them back like I do LTL Media. So I guess I got to look into that more too. But that's what we'll be doing here as I get going. I'm gonna do more lives. I also have some like with the JFK, you just have to for him, I got to record because I don't want to play the music he's playing because he gets it to the point where if he doesn't have anything, then he plays music for an hour. So I want to be able to cut all that out and then, just do it with him talking. So his has to be recorded and that takes a little bit of time. Then I got to take, the 4 hours basically to go through it and cut everything up. But we'll get back to JFK. Right now, like I said, he's taking on this thing where he's not going to talk about the glare or he's not stooping to the level. Well, he already did. Now all of a sudden he's going to quit that. And I'm sure he's quitting that because, again, tonight I was watching and he had like 105 people. I just need 100 more. And I'm leaving that up to Mary B. I just need 100 more people right now and I can get to where JFK is. And JFK has been on for how long? I mean, no wonder why he's cutting it down about Turtle Boy and everybody else and trying something else because he's got to get his viewers back up. So, JFK, I'm going to catch you. I'm going to catch you. It might not be today, tomorrow, but I'm going to catch you. Right now I'm at 5-6, and that's fine. But I'm going to catch you, JFK. So be ready for it. And Brian and Crawford, they got people subs, but they're not getting a lot of views either anymore. So I don't know. The crying, I guess, has to stop. I don't think that's the way you do your show. I don't think you need to pick on Turtle Boy. I don't think you need to pick on the glare. I don't think you need to pick on Red House Media. Now, I do believe that everybody should pick on Stupid April and tell her that I wasn't impressed that she don't like country. I mean, it's one thing to say you don't like it. That's, but at least say, okay, I don't listen to it, but I respect it. She didn't even do that. She just went, well, I don't listen to that. She didn't say crap, but she said, she wanted to say, she was going to say, I don't listen to that crap. So, but Hot and Bravo has even said something about me saying about Stupid April that I did that little video of her breaking my heart and all that kind of stuff. But, she had a chance to go to Vegas. Stupid April did. And she's sitting there going, I don't listen to that. Well, I'm sure Stupid April at one time in her life in the last 30 years probably listened to Gwen Stefani. And she shows up in Vegas with Blake. So Gwen Stefani is on stage too. And Gwen Stefani, if people don't know, she is a superstar. She is a true superstar. She's one of those people that can, if you say Gwen, you know who it is. It's a one name thing, just like Reba. You can say Gwen and everybody goes, oh yeah, Gwen. I mean, amazing. What a songwriter. I mean, No Doubt was incredible. And so, you had a chance to go see Gwen too. Stupid April. But no, you said no country. That's all right. Find somebody else. YouTube's a big area. I'm sure somebody else will come back into my life and be there to go to Vegas. So that's hilarious, actually. But, some of everybody, there's been some questions about what I listen to and what I watch on YouTube. Yes, Rad House Media, I watch all the time. Big fan of Broken Baker. Big fan of Broken Baker. I mean, I wish that guy would just come on my show once. I would just like to sit and listen to him. I mean, you talk about a sarcastic person. Love it. Broken Baker's the best. And I love, like the Red House Media, I love when everybody cracks Danny up. And he just gets cracked up. That's just awesome stuff. Because I think what goes through his mind, too, is where do these people come from and everything. So there's a lot to get to on everything that's happening out. I mean, I would like to start looking at other places in the United States that have the same kind of problems Massachusetts has. But I just haven't come across something that's as good. I know it's out there. Like I said, Chicago's a place. So, I mean, there's places out there, but I just got to find the right one that I want to talk about. So that's what that's what we're going to do here. It's not going to be, where I sit and yell at people. It's got to be a calm place, and not be so, I mean, I know Brian's trying to hit everything home and he's trying to be at LTL Media. Like he's trying to be the news guy. He's the news guy. You come to him for the news now. You don't go to CBS, NBC, or ABC. You go to no Fox. You go to Brian, LTL Media. He'll give you the news. Yeah, we're not going to do that either here. So hopefully I'll never yell at people. I might yell at Twisted Tragedies, probably could bring out me raising my voice. She probably could. Because that one, I mean, how long has that Butte been around? How long has she been on YouTube? I mean, wow. And is that true that she lives in government housing, like Broken Baker says? She really lives in government housing. So she shouldn't even really be making that much money then. So she probably hides it. Unbelievable. But yeah, I want to get listening to her more. And but she might make me, I mean, she seems like one that she don't care if she lies. I mean, all of a sudden now she came out and said that she was shot too. After Kelsey Fitzsimmons, she wanted to be like, I was shot. So she, I mean, like I said, she's a lawyer. And I guess when she was, I don't think she's doing the stripping now. Let's hope not. Whoa. But I guess one time she was a stripper. Maybe she was really good at that. I don't know. But, I mean, she was an actor. She turned down an acting spot or something. She did makeup for the stars, but doesn't know how to do her makeup. I mean, this is just a beaut. This woman's a beaut. Twisted Tragedies. What's her real name? Elise or something like that, I think. But that's going to be the next couple of days. I think I'm going to take one of her shows and just listen to that and see how long I can do just listening to it. I tried a few nights ago, and it was tough. It was even tougher than listening to Brian of all things. But we'll get to that. And like I said, if there's anything else anybody wants to talk about, let me know. Just drop me a message and say, hey, you should cover this. Help me out that way. And please tell people to like, share, and subscribe. I got to get to, I don't even know what the next plateau is for the subscribing, but I need to get to the next one. And I got to figure out how I can get more than 100 people watching so I can go above JFK and sit above that. Because for a new channel to get more than JFK, I mean, that's going to be a slap in his face. So let's figure that out. I need help with that. All right. So I need everybody to help out, share, subscribe, tell everybody about this channel. And like I said, we'll cover things. Just tell me what you guys want to talk about, and then we'll talk about it. And I'll do my take on it. But like I said, I think in the future we'll do the Twisted Tragedies, talk about her, get into that person. I do have a clown face, a mask that I'll have to wear when I do talk about her. And that's going to be hot. That thing's hot to put on, but I got to put it on. If I'm going to talk about her, I got to put on that clown face. So, and then I'm going to go look for some sunglasses. So I got to do that. I got to find out. This is the one thing I forgot to ask Mary B the last time I was on, last couple of times. Where do I find the hat, the Boston Shady hat? I tried looking it up on the internet, and I can't find it. I know it's a Mitchell Ness hat, but I even went to their site and I can't find it. But I'd like to get a hat somehow. I don't know how you all got it at the Rat House Media, but I'd like to get that hat because that's a hat that nobody has. That's what JFK said. You can't get this hat. So I'd like to get it. I mean, you can't get this hat either, this Milwaukee Brewer hat. And all you people out in Massachusetts, Boston area, if you're Red Sox fans, I'm sorry. Not really, because my Brewers went there and kicked your asses tonight, and that's great. Now, tomorrow night, the Brewers have their ace on the mound, and so does Boston, so it's going to be a good game. If Milwaukee can take 2 of 3 from Boston, it'll be perfect. It's a 3-game series or 4-game? I think it's 3-game. So if the Brewers can take 2 of 3, that'd be great. But I would like to sweep them. I'd like to sweep Boston. I got a real good friend that's from Boston. She lives in Florida now. And I'm trying to get her to do the show with me because she's from she actually lived in Canton at one time. But she's a little bit west of Boston where she grew up, I believe. But I've been trying to get her to do the show with me. And I just haven't done a good enough job talking yet to talk her into it. But she's a big, huge Boston sports fan. And, I mean, I had to listen to her for years about the Patriots. But it was a good win tonight, so I could at least say on her Facebook, the Milwaukee Brewers are the best. So, but so I won't say I'm sorry about the Brewers, but the Brewers are going to take it to the Red Sox, all right? So I appreciate everybody that's going to check this out. I need somebody to explain to me, though, how Brian can have a couple of 100 people watching live, and then when he gets off the live, and it's like 30 minutes later, he's got 1,500 views. Somebody needs to explain that to me. I mean, is he paying for that somehow? Okay, I'm not going to pay for it. I'd rather have it grow nicely without paying for it. But somebody needs, I mean, the same with JFK, he could have 105 people like he had just an hour ago or whatever. And then he'll go off, and about an hour later you check, and he's got 3,000 views. I don't know how that works. So I need to figure that out. A lot of things I need to figure out about YouTube. But with the people that are here, with the, I think I got 70 subscribers now, thanks to Mary B, thanks to Hot and Bravo, thanks to Hippie Chick, and that J7, another one that promotes. I appreciate all of you, each and every one of you, promoting it. And we'll get there. Like I said, the there'll be more things that I can talk about as I get going, that I sit down and take my time and actually get into everything. And I try to get bits and pieces that I can come on and talk about. And I figure if I can do an hour, every couple of days or whatever, I think that'll be pretty good. If I, give you my take on what I think is funny, what I think is outrageous, ridiculous. So the next couple of things, like I said, twisted tragedies I want to do. Not in that way. I mean, I want to go over what she's saying, okay? Please don't clip that, anybody, and say, oh, Jeff Mad Stork said he wants to do Twisted Tragedies. I do not. So all I want to do is listen to her show and kind of have fun about it. All right. And then the forensic room, I want to talk a little bit about those 4 girls. That Mama Llama or whatever her name is, she's another one that is looking through some different eyes. I mean, she don't wear glasses, but she's seeing things a whole lot different than I do. And Tuesday, I don't even know what she does on there, but yeah, she's a cute little thing. But I don't think she's adding too much. And that redheaded girl, boy, she's talk about a person that hates Turtle Boy. Whew. That's another one. So I got my work cut out for me to go through all this and everything and bring that to you, what my thoughts are on everything. So subscribe, share, like, and don't forget to watch one of my favorite shows, Red House Media. Always got to watch them. Broken Baker. Anybody got any connections to Broken Baker? Tell him he needs to come on this low life show, this starter show. Come and help a poor guy out. All right, Broken Baker, and come on the show for a little bit. We'll talk. And he's really one of the most, I think, talented people. I mean, the way he does his show is incredible. The sarcasm is incredible. And a lot of people sometimes don't get his humor, and that's funny in itself. So anybody got any connections to him, make sure you tell him to check us out and come on the show. So you guys have a great Tuesday morning, and we'll be back probably Wednesday night after Turtle Boy, so we can go through some of the things that he's going through. That was not a burp, by the way. I'm starting to get the hiccups. So I didn't want you to think that I was burping like LTL Media. And I'm sure we'll talk about LTL. Seems like he's back and trying to get his point across. So we'll definitely do that. And like I said, JFK, we're not done completely with him. Just takes more time for me to go through his shows and try to get rid of the music. And that shows his talent, really. Because if he can't do a show without doing all that music, why does he act like a DJ? Is that what he wanted to be when he grew up? He wanted to be a DJ, then rapper. So now he thinks that YouTube is his studio for being a DJ. I mean, I did DJ work. I did personality work on air. And you're going the radio stations that did it, that really did good jobs, they had personality in the music, right between the records. JFK, he just takes up 30, 40 minutes of just music. So I don't understand why he does that. It's because, I guess I do understand. It's just that he doesn't have the talent, I guess. And I hate to say that, JFK, but maybe that's what it is. You just don't have it. So you got to fill. You got to do the filler. And in radio, they told you, if you don't know what to say, when in doubt, play music. So JFK, what are you doing? When you're in doubt, you play music. So nothing wrong with that, I guess. But I got to, people that listen to him and give him, the cash, just remember you can go on YouTube. You can go on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify. I mean, all your music outlets, you can listen to the music that JFK is playing. I mean, he's not adding anything to the music. So I don't understand what the attraction would be to say, oh, we're going to go listen to JFK play his music, and we definitely don't want to hear his raps. Who's ever paying $30 for his album, Wellness, whatever it was? Stop it. Stop it. Nobody's worth $30. I mean, Morgan Wallen isn't worth $30 on the countryside, and he's blowing up stadiums like crazy. There's a couple of them there, but it's not worth $30. So come on, JFK, whatever you're trying to make, I don't know who's going to, continue to give you that money, but it is what it is, I guess. So, but we're not done with JFK. We'll get back with him. So again, appreciate everybody that checked us out live. Please, when you watch this back, when you share it, please make sure you tell everybody to share it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. And let's try to get I just checked my subscription people. I think it's at 71. Let's see if we can push that to 100. All right, we'll try to 100. See if we can get to 100. And then maybe I can expect at least, 10% of them, 15% of them to watch live so I can get a few more people. And then we'll hit towards what JFK is getting for his lives. So again, thank you very much. And Wednesday night, we'll probably be back with another show and give you my opinion of what happened, probably with Turtle Boy. Let's hope something good, all right? Let's hope that his ex-girlfriend is shut down and enough of this is done. And let's get back to the real stuff that Turtle Boy has to fight instead of go to jail. Let's just hope that it all works out for him. And that'll be a good day if that happens. So everybody have a great night, great morning, and enjoy your Tuesday. And one more time for me, go Brewers. Let's take another game from the Red Sox. Talk to you soon. Bye.